Hello, everyone. This is Steve Porter, candidate for Herndon Town Council. I'm trying to do these weekly updates just to let people know what's going on with the Town Council and also some updates on my campaign. So last evening, we had a roughly 3-hour Town Council meeting. We actually expected the meetings would get long because we have a lot of backed up business as a town to address because of the COVID emergency. So let me go ahead and pull up that agenda just so that people can see it. So basically, everyone but Councilwoman Jen Baker was present. So they definitely had the quorum and things. They did some approval of minutes. Then the town manager's comments were actually largely about COVID. Again, the town and the county seem to be in a low community transmission rate, but we definitely want to make sure we're still taking the precautions, wearing our masks, social distancing, all that stuff, so that things don't get worse. In the region as a whole, there's also some concerns that there are certain demographics that are being disproportionately hurt by COVID. Particularly the Hispanic community is several times the anticipated number of positive cases. And the African American community also has a significant increase over expected baselines. So part of that may be the type of work they're doing or not getting the message out cleanly enough to various communities. So those are things that as a region they're still focused on. I'll skip comments from the town council just in the interest of time. Then we get from comments from the audience. Last night was the first night that you could do general comments again. Since COVID started, you weren't allowed to do the general comments at the beginning of the meeting. Only one speaker actually signed up, me, and I hope that more people will take advantage of it moving forward. These general comments really are critical for the town council to get a feel for what's on the community's mind. If you're wondering, my comments were largely around some police things, namely that thank them for their annual report that we recently came out. And I also raised some concerns that the report did not break out any Hispanic or Latinx statistics. And considering the composition of our community, I think that's something that really does need to be included in that report. And the other issue I raised was there is a Chiefs Advisory Committee mentioned on the Herndon Police website, but I can't find any information about it. So I was just asking that they clarify that and provide some information about exactly what that is and how it works. As you're probably aware, community oversight of police is a big deal right now. And if we're leading that curve with good programs, that's something I want to see. I want to know what's going on so that we can blow our own horn. We've led in other ways like body cams. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to say. And it was, if you haven't read the report yet, it was a good report and really does highlight the excellent work that the Herndon Police Department does in our community on a daily basis. We then moved into some public hearings. I'm not going to spend much time on these because basically these are all transfers of takes that were done earlier in the year. So basically eminent domain was used to seize some property. It's paid for by the town. This is just formally transferring those utility easements over to either Dominion Power or Verizon so that they can actually do the work. So it took surprisingly long to work through it. People had a lot of comments on it as far as the council members, but really these are basically rubber stamp actions at this point. Any true debate would have come when the actual take eminent domain type actions were being considered earlier in the year. We then moved on to the general agenda. The big thing was Mr. Ashton and Ms. Tripoli provided their State of the Town report for fiscal year 2020. It's over 80 pages. It's on the website. I suggest you take a look at it. There's some really good information in it. They will not be sending out the typical trifold brochure of the highlights that they have done in the past because of financial concerns. Not surprisingly, a lot was how good the town did in navigating the post-COVID world, how the year really was divided into a pre-COVID and post-COVID reality. So there's some good information in there. And then Jenny went over, Ms. Tripoli, the finance director, went over the FY20 unaudited numbers, which are a lot less nasty than we had feared they would be. So there are going to be concerns. We're spending and services and all that type of stuff may have to go under a really close microscope when they start working on the FY22 budget, which they'll start working on in a few months, and then the new council will have to take it up after January 1st. But overall, we're still in a very strong position, especially compared to some of the other localities in the area. So that's great news. If you don't feel like reading an 80+ page report, the video of this meeting is also recorded on the town website under the agenda meetings section. It might be worth actually pulling it up and at least, fast forwarding to Mr. Ashton's and Ms. Tripoli's report and taking a look. It was really good information. The next couple things they dealt with was a zoning amendment to change the term heritage to historic, and also to change to allow the town staff to be able to issue certificates of appropriateness under more circumstances. This is an initiation ordinance, or sorry, resolution. So basically what it does is it actually forces this issue over to the Planning Commission, who will hold public hearings and try to bring back a formal proposal to the council at a future date. That one's a bit open-ended. As part of this, they also mentioned that they were hoping to get the much awaited new guidelines for the Historic Preservation District out in front of the public next month. So hopefully that will happen. That's been something a lot of people are waiting for. The next resolution they did was another zoning amendment. This one would basically allow them to change the zoning on the Residence Inn property on Eldon Street so that it could be actually converted from a hotel basically into workforce housing. So this is a good thing. It will, again, this is an initiation, so it just goes to the Planning Commission for further review, work, and public comment. But I don't think anybody's really, that I've heard, is against this. In fact, most of the candidates, most of the council members, who many of whom were acting very much in campaign mode last night, went out of their way to make sure they were very clear on how much they supported it and how they championed this and all that stuff. It's a good proposal. I support it. I hope it moves forward. But that's pretty much what I got to say on that, and look forward to seeing more. Then there was some consent agenda stuff, which really, you can look at it, but I don't have any specific comments about it, especially since I'm trying to keep this pretty short. Meeting was about 3 hours though, so it wasn't a short meeting. In terms of my campaign, just a couple highlights. One, I've heard that some people are going around telling people I'm a Republican. I'm not. If you really look, I'm actually formally endorsed by the Libertarian Party. So I'm not sure where the Republican thing came out from. Bottom line is that I'm working with and talking with anyone who wants to talk to me. So I have Republican supporters, I have Democrat supporters, I have Libertarian supporters, I have Green supporters, I have constitutional supporters, I have, independents. And that's how this is supposed to work. It's supposed to be people on the council who want to reach out and engage with the entire community, regardless of our political affiliations, and do what's best for the town. So, some people right now are trying to paint me a certain way in order to make it divisive. Their model, their viewpoint is really just there's red versus blue. And so they're trying, I don't fit into that model well, so they're trying to force me into that box, if you will, so that they can use those campaign techniques and those campaign type messaging, vote blue no matter who type stuff or that type of stuff. And so please, all I would ask is that you continue to look at me as a candidate. If you have questions, reach out to me and ask me. Just don't take people's word for what I am or am not for. I'm available and I want to talk to you. Other than that, we're doing postcards. So if you're interested in helping do some postcards, reach out to the campaign. Sunday at 4 o'clock, knock on wood, the chamber is hoping to do a candidate forum with both the mayor and the council candidates. So look for some stuff about that. Then on Sunday, October 4th at 7 p.m., I'm doing another one of the multi-candidate Q&As that I've done a couple of, because again, I think it's really important that we all get out there. You have a chance to meet all of us, learn something about what we're about, so that you can make an informed and educated decision on who earned your votes this year. So look for more of that on the website. We're approaching about 10 minutes and I don't want to keep people for a long time. So again, if you've got any comments, questions, or concerns, please reach out to me. I look forward to hearing from you and thank you very much.